Hello everyone and welcome to this week's watch list review. If you remember, this was the watch list. Um, I do know Square just triggered today, but I didn't even look at it. It was too late in the week to worry about it now. But we do have this pivot machine gun potentially in progress here, so keep an eye on it. I probably won't put it on my watch list next week, so I'll probably forget. But make a note of it and keep an eye because let's take a look here. Square, if we look at the daily, um, we broke these levels. So next up is going to be 93.97, which is the inside target one on the inside week up. If we look at the weekly, take a look here. And I may buy this Tuesday. I might buy something about 3-4 months out, maybe 6 months out, depending on the spreads and the price, and look to try to catch some of this. So anyway, here's the watch list. We had Upstart, Square, and XLU. Before we get into that, I want to show you something else. And I think I've talked about this in other videos. Weekly chart on Qs. We just reversed on the weekly. First time we've had a reversal on the weekly since the week of May 14th, which was, what's that, 10 weeks ago. So we got a weekly reversal. Is there a gap here? 348.50. Yes, there is a gap here, 347.69. So we do have a gap here. We didn't fill it here, so we do have a gap here. So anyway, the reversal on the Qs and reversal on SPY on the weekly chart. So we're still not out of the woods. We still need to clear these moving average lines, but we're well on our way to recovering some of these losses we've had. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll see what we do. But be prepared. There's the market right now is still very shaky and spooked, and it won't take much to drop this right back down. So anything you do get in, I just bought more commons in SPY today for my IRA account. I was pretty light on them to begin with, and I sold a couple when we started coming back down. Sold a few, and I just bought a couple more today. Next week, if we continue the upside, I may look to buy some leaps or something on SPY, maybe Apple. I'm gonna look some stuff over the weekend, and they won't be on my watch list, but it's for my own personal stuff. But what I'll be looking for is reversal on the weeklies, on names like Apple and maybe Nvidia, Google, Amazon. Looking for stuff like that, and looking to get in something at least 6 months out, probably a year out. So anyway, back to the watch list. Upstart, UPST. I did trade. I think it was actually Upstart I traded early in the week. Maybe it was Square. One of them I traded early in the week, and I took it to the first target. So Upstart, we were looking for inside week down. Okay, it wasn't Upstart then because it didn't hit a target. We were looking for inside week down. We triggered and bounced right back up. It's still a 2 down, but it's a pretty bullish looking candle. So keep an eye on a 2-2 reversal. This is a good scenario for a 2-2 reversal for next week. If we break above the high of this candle next week, we'll have a weekly reversal on Upstart. So the next one's Square. So Upstart was a failure. Would have stopped out. Square, I guess we triggered that and didn't hit any targets either. Maybe I didn't take it to a target. I know I traded one of them, and I made money on it, but maybe I didn't take it all the way to target. So anyway, Triggered to the downside, and that failed, and then we triggered to the upside and just ran out of week. So nothing there either direction on square. And the last one was XLU, and XLU triggered to the upside, took out targets 1 and 2. And remember, target 1 wasn't really a target, it was more of a, hey, this is a range here that we can keep an eye on, somewhere to set stops, whatever. So we took out targets 1 and 2. If we take a look at the 60, we'll see how it played out. So looking at the 60 here, all these lines here, these are trend lines. They're automated by a script. This one here is price levels, automated by a script. So if you're wondering what these are, that's what they are. This one here is mine that I created. So anyway, Monday morning we broke, triggered, kind of hovered around there for a little bit, and then Tuesday we broke it again and never looked back. So depending on where your stop was, for me, I would have stopped out because I wouldn't have held this overnight. Not on a weekly chart. I typically won't hold anything overnight on a weekly chart. On a monthly chart, that I might look to hold something overnight. But back to something I mentioned. This is a perfect example. But back to something I mentioned several months ago on my videos. And the reason I said I started using the moving average lines again. The reason I started using moving average lines again is because the momentum isn't as great when it's further away from the moving average line. The moving average line kind of works a little bit like a trampoline, in that when you get down to the moving average line and then you get that trigger, you get a lot more momentum. So look what happened here. It broke, it triggered, but look how far it was from the EMA, so it kind of didn't do anything. Came down here and it triggered again. It actually opened Tuesday morning above that and shot up, but then it came down and touched the moving average. As soon as it touched the moving average, that was it. It was gone, off to the races. So that's why I use the moving averages. I know a lot of people don't like moving averages. I don't use them to find an entry. I don't use moving average crosses. I don't use, I do kind of use them as a support and resistance in this sense. But I try to buy when it's closer to one of the major moving averages. These are the 10 and the 30. That's 10 and the 30. When they start getting closer to one of the moving averages and then I get a signal, that's when I start paying attention. You see over here, if you would have got in when it first triggered, would have failed. Even here, it opened above it, came up and pulled back down, touched that moving average, and boom, it took off. So that's what I mean by the moving averages. That's why I use them. I get better entries. If we look at square, let's see if there's an example on square. So square on Monday, that's a 60. No wonder it looked different. Well, I guess we can use a 60. We actually gapped way. Oh, okay, this is down. I was looking at this at the upside. So we triggered it here. We went up and almost touched. You can't count this corner as touching because this is the actual price here, not this. Didn't quite touch it, but it was enough that it pushed it down pretty far, but it didn't hit any targets. And then it bounced, and then it came up. Didn't really do too much here. So square wasn't really a real good example. Upstart, same here. It was it wasn't far away from the moving average, but it wasn't real close. And then it came down, didn't have enough momentum. Yeah, look at this. It comes down, touches the moving average, and boom. So that's why I use moving averages. I don't use moving average crosses. I have in the past. I don't use them as crosses now. The only thing I use them for is, let's call it a trampoline. That's what I use it for. So same with going to the other side. You look at right here. Didn't take off hard, but we touched it and we took off. SPY, same here. It's kind of dead, kind of flat, kind of flat. Come down, close below it here. Is this an inside? It's a 411.89. No, this is a 2 down, but we had a 2-2 reversal here, and then it took off. You had an actionable, when you have an actionable signal real close to a moving average line, they seem to be more powerful. So anyway, thanks for watching. Get some scans ran, probably run those tonight, and get a list together and do a video later this weekend. Markets are closed Monday. We have a short week next week, so keep that in mind. But again, SPY and Qs both got reversals on the weekly today or this week, so keep that in mind. So thanks for watching. See you guys later, and bye.